Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Derek. In this video, we're going to be looking at how to add drop-down lists in Excel. So there are many times when you want to enter data, but you don't really want to repeat something over and over, and probably you would want to have a list that is ready within Excel so that you just make a choice of what you want. So in this video, we have a table, sample table with a ID number, product, category, delivery mode, cash out, check, delivered, yes or no, then the country. So we want to make sure that when we try to enter our data, we already have lists that can help us easily select from the choices that we actually want. So take an example here. The ID number would simply type in the ID number. In this case, let's say that's the ID number. Now you realize if we had products, probably we have a list of products that we have somewhere, and we just want to select from these products. So we simply need to go to the data. Under the ribbon, we go to the data function, and under data, we shall go to data validation, which is right here. Right, we go under data, then data validation. We click the drop down, then we click data validation. So the data validation pop-up window will look like that, and by default it will have any value. So we go and look for where there is lists, because we want a list of the products that we want to select from. So that's why we're selecting list. So when you select list now, then we shall go under source. So under source, that's what we're going to type in manually. If your products are maybe few, you can type in manually. Along the video, I'll show you how to also deal with long lists in cases where you have like probably more 100 products, and you want to select from those 100 products. But here we're just looking at a few products. Let's say pen. Okay, you write pen and then you put a comma every after an item. You put a comma and say pencil, chair. So every after an item you put a comma, and we're going to see why we're putting commas. Okay, then um let's put phone. Okay, maybe those are enough for now, and you press OK. So realize right now there is a drop down which wasn't initially there. There is a drop down. When you try to click in here, there's a drop down, and when you click that drop down, you'll see the items that you've actually listed in the data validation. We can do the same for category. So just put your cursor in the cell where you want actually to have your lists created, and then you go under data. Then data validation is right here. It's a very small function. If you're not careful, you may not actually see the command. So you click the drop down and then you select data validation. Now it will come like this. Then you select list. Then now you type in manually your list. Let's say categories furniture, electronic. So we just randomly just thinking of categories. The stationery, because we had pens, remember, so we're choosing stationery for that. Then click OK. So you realize the moment you click inside there, there's a drop down that is created, and it has a list of your categories that you've just input. Let's go delivery mode, and we also do the same. We go to data validation, and then we change this to any list, to list rather, not any list. Then we type in the shipping mode. Probably it's by air or railway. Okay, or ship. Okay, or water or ship. Come on. So there's a drop down created. So here we have cash and check. So we want to either have a cash payment or check payment. So go to data validation and then click the drop down and go to list, and then you type in check. Then put a comma and then cash, so that we can know if someone has either paid with cash or check. Sorry, cash. Okay, so the drop down has been created. Then delivered, yes or no. Go data validation to your list, and then you can say y comma n. So y represents yes and n represents no. So now there are instances where you have a long list of items you want to really have to select from, and you need to reference depending on the length of your choices or the list of your items. So here country, I want to use an example of countries here. Well, we're not going to type in manually, but we want to actually reference the source of the data. What do I mean? So let's put our cursor in country, then we go to data validation, and now we go to list. So so any now here I'm going to type manual. I want to try out something that deals with multiple or lengthy data. So here we're going to click this arrow pointing up. Okay, then this will come up. Then now this we're going to select where our data is. We're going to select where our data is. So if the list is as long as it can go, then that's where you need to select from. Okay, so but here the list ends just right here, so I'll select that. Okay. Click the drop down and say, so just here in the source you can see it's saying source is equal to, so it's referencing the n column, and that is the rows I think says 7 and 13. So you click OK. So when you click OK, just try to check in our drop down. So our countries have appeared because we have referenced actually the countries according to the list and according to the cells. So this one makes data entry easy for you. You don't have to make errors. It's very good for your analysis at the end of the day. So let's try to enter in some data now. Product, get selected product, pencil, the stationery. It was delivered by air. It was check, delivered, yes. The country, I believe Mexico. Okay, so it makes data entry easy for you. So we're also going to look at how to input error messages or validation messages so that you can easily know what to do. So let's say you try to type in something that doesn't belong to the list. What happens? Let's try to put in book. So it will bring an error automatically because it can't allow actually for you to type in anything at all. Okay, this value doesn't match the data validation restrictions defined for this cell, so you just have to cancel that. So for you to make sure that you can be able to go back to adding anything freely, you need to select within that cell and then you go back to data validation. Okay, now you're not going to cancel this, you're not going to remove this. No, this time we're just going to say select any. We select any value. Actually we put in any value, we input any value. So we say input any value and then we say okay. So by that you can put in any value you want. That's the book, and it will allow. Okay, so if you want all these changes to be applied in all, like entirely your Excel sheet, there are the options you can just drag like this, and then because here there is data. Okay, let's first undo that. I show you. Okay, even if you remove the data, so anyway you click here, even the last, you will have the what, the options, the listed options are going to be there. So when you click here, there is none. So you just need to drag this and make sure that the validations are applied throughout. So that's how you can simply do that. You can also add in tab, also put in error alerts in case someone does a mistake and then you want a particular message to appear. For example, let's go back to data validation, error alert. So you can put in a warning and information, and then you say checklist. You can say double check your input, just something small like that. And so if I put in maybe D, why did I put my check? Okay, I put it here, I think. You get? So it brings in an error, double check your input. That's what I put. And on top here, it will put your title for that error message or error alert. So that's how simple it can be for you to put in validation in your Excel. Again, it can ease your work as you enter in your data. Thank you guys for watching. Please consider subscribing. Bye bye.